Tonight we bring in the very first woman to graduate from the Citadel, Republican representative from the great state of South Carolina, Nancy Mace. Great to have you with us. It's a real honor to have you in studio. Sometimes we get to see you sort of disembodied. You're over in one of the little pods, so great to have you on set with us. There's so much there. I want to begin, though, by asking you your reaction to the President of the United States sort of laughing off this idea that maybe, just maybe, the fist bump was simply inappropriate, too personal, in fact, from a visual perspective. Your thoughts?
Yes, certainly. Everywhere Joe Biden goes in our country and around the world, he has completely embarrassed the United States of America. And this is just another faux pas, another example. And when he was called out for it by our press who was traveling with him, he just laughed it off, like Kamala Harris laughs off the crisis at the border. This is not a joke. This is the Crown Prince who ordered a journalist to be chopped into pieces. And this is the way that he's acting on the world stage. People are not going to take our country seriously. And when America is not strong, the world is not strong. And we've got to show strength and not weakness, and that's what he's doing today.
Let me share something that Jeff Paul alluded to. He talked about the Washington Post and what the publisher had to say about this incident, this fist bump. And it reads in part, the fist bump between President Biden and Mohammed bin Salman was worse than a handshake. It was shameful. It projected a level of intimacy and comfort that delivers to MBS the unwarranted redemption he has been desperately seeking. That from Fred Ryan. Your reaction to that?
Well, it's not the office of the President of the United States to go fist bump this, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. It was a totally inappropriate. It was definitely worse than a handshake. And he certainly doesn't like being called out by U.S. press, particularly press on the left from the Washington Post and others. But it goes to show how horrible this looks to everybody around the world. And we cannot, take this for granted and just let this guy off the hook, which is what we're doing. We're going and groveling at his feet. And why? We have enough oil and gas here in the United States. So why is he doing this and embarrassing everybody in our country?
By the way, the White House did release a fact sheet. In it, they said the president did speak to the Crown Prince about the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. He said he was not responsible for it, and the president more or less took his word for it. I want to drill down, though, if you'll pardon the pun, on your idea of creating more energy here at home. This very idea, Representative, of going over to Saudi Arabia and more or less asking them to produce more oil. When we have domestic oil supplies here that we could probably get to just as easy, if not easier, cleaner. What do you make of what the president decided to do with that?
Well, he should be here. In fact, I, along with other Republicans, met with oil executives yesterday to try to understand the challenges that they're having, from worker shortages to production issues, supply chain issues. Under the previous administration and previous to COVID, we were net exporters of oil and gas. Well, now under the Biden administration, we're now net importers, and understanding the challenges. But they have the opportunity to do it here. We have enough oil and gas. Take, for instance, in New York, the state of New York has enough liquid natural gas to power all of Europe for the next 150 years. And we have the ability to get it cleanly across the country, not hurting the environment. And in the meantime, until we're all driving Teslas and electric cars, we have the ability to increase production here at home. And we should be doing that. We should be focusing on jobs and domestic production here and increasing it.
And I've heard Republicans say, listen, it's not that we don't want to develop new green energy. It's this idea we can walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time, and maybe develop it in a way that by the time it's available for more Americans, it's more affordable, because not everybody can walk out there and buy a $75,000 Tesla. I did want to share this very quickly. This is from the Washington Times. Jeff Murdoch today saying Biden says no immediate deal on oil with Saudi Arabia. And he said this: it was a stunning concession for Mr. Biden, who handed Saudi Arabia a diplomatic win with the meeting without getting his main goal for the trip in return. Now, that's since been amended. We do know that they're saying that they're going to increase by 50% production in July and in August. Is this a win for the American people in your view?
It's not. I mean, what did we get for the fist bump? We don't even know at this point, and they're walking everything back. Everything Biden has said or done that his administration has had to walk back or explain or double up on. And that's what we're seeing here today. In July and August, what does that mean? That's not long term. I can tell you, as a freshman member of Congress, I've been in office for a year and a half. We haven't had a single hearing on any of the committees that I sit on today about the supply chain, about the challenges that every industry, including oil and gas, are facing right now, and how to overcome them and to unleash the free market here and to get bigger producers. We could export much more than we're doing right now, and we're just not. He's not focused here on the United States or the people here at home. And I can tell you, before I came up to D.C. this week to have votes, I went to fill up my truck, and it cost me a pair of very expensive pair of basketball shoes for my son. That's what it costs every week to fill up my car and drive my kids around to school or to their summer activities. And the average American cannot continue to afford those kinds of prices.
Well, you and I are in the same boat. I used to fill my car for $50, and now it's like $117. Yeah, it's really getting crazy. Representative Nancy Mace, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Looking forward to having you back here in the studio with us.